Guys, what's happening? Happy Sunday. Hope you're having a great week or had a great week. This topic for me is something I've been thinking a lot about lately. It's actually been kind of running through my mind a lot, and it's something that I've been trying to kind of think about and try to gain a deeper understanding myself. I'm having a lot of kind of breakthroughs about it. If you saw my most recent Instagram post, you kind of saw that, I was posting about people with stigmas. And my wife and I have had a podcast, and we're coming up on a year on April 20th. And it's about breaking stigmas and people with stigmas and interviewing them and talking to them and getting to know them and humanizing them and showing them they're normal and, they're trying to quote unquote normal and, just trying to be happy. And I also have been thinking a lot about like the quarantine that we're under right now too. Throughout the world, it's the first time when I can't think of another time, since we're all global citizens now, basically, we're all interconnected, where the whole world was in on something together. And, it's just such an important time to kind of step back from our judgments and from the anger and the, hatred or dislike or looking at people as others or not accepting people for who they are. I think it's time to really reevaluate that thought process. And throughout this year, Melissa and I have interviewed people with mental health issues, disabilities, people with disabilities, eating disorder, disordered eating, just so much, domestic violence, child abuse. There's just been so much, and there's been a common theme that's kind of run through it for us. And it's always been about community. And it's always been about people wanting to connect to people and to not feel marginalized and feel like others. And that's one of the things that's been so beautiful in this experience that I've had, with doing the podcast, is that it has really opened my mind to understand that we're all just humans. We're all humans. It doesn't matter what country you're from, these made up borders, it doesn't matter. I understand being proud of where you're from and being happy about it. But once we start really looking at people and trying to accept them for who they are, it can just get so much better, and there can be so much more peace. And I know that sounds grandiose and like it's a lot more complicated than that. Now, there's people who I vehemently disagree with. I don't believe in their views. I don't believe what they're doing is right, but that's my views being put on them. And also, I can let that go. I don't need to have that something that holds on to me so tight where I get anger and resentment and, and I think about, why are they that way and all those type of things. And you come from a level of acceptance and understanding so many different factors contribute to how a person becomes who they are, the way they were raised, who they were, where they grew up, how they grew up, the people that surrounded them. So many things factor into how a person became the way they are. And once you start looking at a person as being a human, and in most cases, if not all, they're doing the absolute best they can. And it may sound like a lofty goal or a lofty thought to think that way, but I can tell you that's something that's really clicking with me. And I just feel a sense of peace. I used to get so wrapped up in other people's beliefs and how they felt about things. And I didn't, feel it was fair and how could they think that way? And, I can still have my beliefs, things that I think are right, but I can hold on to those and I can go inward and I can focus on myself. I can wish peace to them. I can wish happiness to them. Hope that if they're in these difficult circumstances where they're doing really wrong things, that they find a better way. And so I just felt compelled to share a short video today just about focusing on our similarities rather than our differences. There are so many things that we have in common that we don't allow ourselves to see in other people because we judge them on their own beliefs. And as long as we can just kind of take a step back, especially in a time like this, and realize that at the end of it, none of that other stuff really matters. We're just humans trying to get by. We don't have any control over where we were born, who we were born to, what circumstances we were raised in, where we're at now, how this person is this way and the other person's that way. We don't have any control over that. And neither does the person, and that goes into neither does the person who's in that situation. So, I hope that we can start looking at things a little more peacefully and a little more serenely and a little more accepting, and understanding that all of us, the majority of us, are really just trying to do the best that we can in the circumstances that we're in. So it's just gonna be a short video. I just wanted to get you thinking about, sharing and thinking about, accepting people and forgiving people, and seeing the similarities rather than the differences. I hope you guys have a great Sunday, and I will see you next week. Peace.